growing up in the late 80s, early 90s, the whole supercar thing happened and everybody wanted a Countach or a Diablo or an F40. And of course you aspired to those things, but it would never really hit home. When I first started driving, I grew up in the country, so if you didn't have a car, you didn't get anywhere. You just needed to have that. So I had a desire to drive, but it wasn't anything other than my way to get places. My real love of cars, I think, stemmed from shortly after I left university, and I met a few people who had similar cars to me. I had a very normal Honda Civic, and then I saw another one that had a little bit more, and thinking, oh, this could be something fun. And then from there, the last 12 years or so have been a bit of a blur. I've owned too many cars. And I just keep getting deeper and deeper into the whole scene, really. Initially, I got involved in events, mostly drift-related stuff, when drift was still quite in its infancy in the UK. I met my boss there, and I think he was eager to get somebody on board who was Japanese, understood the language and the industry somewhat. It was an awful risk, because if it didn't work out, not only would I hate my job, I would also hate my hobby and passion. Been making tuning parts predominantly for Japanese cars for over 40 years. We do the distribution for all of Europe, so we have a network of dealers that we sell to. First thing in the morning, trying to rush and contact anybody in Japan if I need to before they go home, making sure they're aware of what's going on, about new products. A lot of the time it's quite office bound, the things that we do, all of our exciting work, the development of products and building of race cars, mostly happens in Japan at our headquarters. It is actually a much more simple operation here than people expect. It's a lot of boxes in, a lot of boxes out, but we try not to become a pure distribution center and try and stay engaged with our customers and with the general scene as well. I promised myself if I started hating it or the industry, I would get out, but 7.5 years later I'm still here, so it couldn't have been that bad, I guess. I did end up loving Japanese cars, partly from a little bit of almost patriotism or a want to connect to my Japanese roots. I've always been very proud of Japanese engineering and technology. I bought my GT86 because I hadn't had a toy, a play car, in a good few years, and I was itching for something. The 86 was still new. It's one of the most exciting things to come out of Japan in the last few years, and it's my kind of car. I was impressed by how good the standard car is. Everybody says it's not fast enough and so on. I tell them that if the GT86 as standard isn't fast enough, then the roads you're driving on are too straight. I was never ever going to buy a GT86 without modifying it, tuning it. The car is equipped with most of the things that HKS supply. A manifold and front pipe setup. It has the HKS supercharger kit on it. So the supercharger is a centrifugal type supercharger, much like what you see here. It produces about 270 horsepower, something like that. The exhaust system is one of our newer systems. I've recently changed that as well. It's called the Liga Sport system. And that actually gives us enough flow for the potential of up to about 350 horsepower. Whatever enhances my enjoyment of driving is the route that I take. If I feel that the car would be more fun for me personally to drive with a bit more power, I'll look at adding power. If I feel that it needs a bit more grip, I will look at that. Or vice versa. Sometimes cars are more fun to drive with less grip, so it's a case of balancing that out. I think I got lucky with it, because for the amount of power I have right now, the extra grip that I've given it with the suspension and the tires feels just right. So I'm really enjoying the car right now, which scares me a little bit for the future, because no project is ever finished. So if I do go up in power, do I need to go up in grip? A lot of things that I start thinking about and scratching my head, but I'm starting to think maybe that's the times where I'm enjoying cars the most, is when I'm dreaming about what to do next. For some people, it's literally just a means of transport. And other people like to engage with their car because they enjoy driving. Everybody else doesn't matter anymore. It's just me, the car, and the piece of road in front of me. And whether it's faster than the next guy along or not, people are looking at me thinking I'm crazy or it's boring. It doesn't matter anymore. I just enjoy that drive.